guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who do not know, I am Alex, and today's video is going to be Sister Wives episode 5 of season 19. This one was a little emotional for me to get through, just because of the stuff towards like the end of the episode, but I'm going to do my best to not get emotional here. So the episode starts off where they talk about how Cody's going to meet the twins at Mykelti and Tony's, which we know was filmed in 2023. This is important to note because of the next sentence. They talk about how Mykelti is neutral and gets along with everybody. She gets along with Cody and Robin and her kids and her mom and those kids and Janelle and her kids. You know, she gets along with them. It's important to note that as of 2025, because that was filmed in 2023, that allegedly that's not the case. From all the Patreon clips I've seen of her and some recent reporting, allegedly Mykelti and Tony are on the outs with Cody and Robin. That could change again as well. I don't know if that's accurate or not. There has been a report that it has to do with something at Garrison's funeral, but I am not in contact with Mykelti to know, so I will not speak for Mykelti. Christine says that all the kids should take a page out of Mykelti's book and, you know, just really, you know, get along with everybody. And I see where Christine's coming from. I do. Because some people have said that was like a really not like nice comment to say to her, like people are hurting. And I get where she's coming from. She's coming from the place of she wants all of her kids to have a good relationship with their father. 100% agree with it. But I think we have to note here that it's a two-way street. And at the end of the day, Cody is the parent, not the child. In my opinion, whether they are adult children or younger children, it is the parents' responsibility to foster that relationship. It's not their mother's responsibility. It's that parent who is having who wants that relationship. It's their job to build. Same way if it was Christine. Same way if Christine wasn't in the equation. Like, it's not Cody's job to do it. It's Christine's job. That's just my opinion, but take that for what it's worth. And they also talk about how Cody wants to buy a big house for them and Mykelti and Tony move in. I don't really know why he's saying that. That was the goal when they were in Vegas, but it didn't happen that way. So I don't really, that was our goal with Coyote Pass. I don't know. I don't really get that comment. It's a little strange to me, but what do I know? So then Christine talks about her second date with David. I'm not going to go into too much detail when it comes to Christine and David because a lot of this appears to be old footage, and we know that like they get married. You know, that is what it is. But I do wanted to know that she wants to have a conversation with him about him being attracted to her. And I just felt so sad for her watching that because, you know, Cody really did a number on her mentally, and I don't know how, like if you I don't know how you get over something like that, and I just thought it was like really, really sad for her that she had to you know ask that question. I guess it was sad for her. So then we move into the Gabe and Janelle stuff, which this stuff is where like my heart broke for Gabe, like truly, in this episode. Like, it was just sad to see. Gabe really does wear his heart in his sleeve, and I think that was part of the problem. So Janelle, okay, so then Gabe goes to Janelle's, and I think it's sweet that he makes his mom breakfast, asks her if she needs anything. Like, that is like such a sweetheart boy. Sometimes I want to kick Cody through the TV, and this was one of the episodes where I wanted to kick Cody and just knock some sense into him because he really pissed me off this episode, to be honest with you, especially when we get into what he has said to Gabe. Like, I just want to kick him in the face. It's probably the nicest thing to say. Okay, so Janelle talks about how Cody hasn't had much contact with her kids since COVID. It's important to note that before this episode, Cody has said time and time again that the boys need to apologize to Robin. The boys that Cody feels he needs an apology from the boys. And they also need to apologize to Robin. That's how he strongly feels, and he has said it in multiple episodes. We can pull clips, Cody, because this episode he tries to, like, I don't know what he's trying to do, but it's like really pissing me off in this episode. So I'm just gonna be frank with you guys. Like, really pisses me off. Okay. And then Janelle says that Cody feels Robin deserves an apology, which Cody tries to defend in this episode, and I don't remember what he said because honestly I tuned it out, because if you go back in enough episodes during the COVID period, you will see that he truly feels that Robin deserves an apology. I don't want to hear it. So that's just where I'm at. And then Gabe tells Janelle that he texted his dad that he misses him. And then this is the part that pisses me off, because he says, because you know how he says these kids don't owe me an apology and like all these things and all these episodes, but that's not what he says here. Cody says, you need to apologize. And then Gabe's like, for what? Like, he's genuinely like asking for what? He's confused. There was a little bit of escalation after that. I forget what Cody says in response to him, but Gabe says to him in response, if you're ready for a relationship and to fix things, like, let me know. If not, like, I'm done. Like, that's where Gabe is. And then there was no response to that text message. And then a few days later, Cody responds, you're forgiven. And again, Gabe's like, what do I need to apologize for, and what do I need to be forgiven for? Like, he's genuinely like, I am confused. And then Cody goes on a tangent about how he saw the Grim Reaper when he had COVID. Honestly, I'm not even going to give that comment like any sort of volition, because I honestly think this man is just making things up at this point to get like some sort of sympathy. I feel like him and Robin are trying to do some redemption arc this season, and it's not working for them. And then they go to Mary, where Mary texted Cody about the release, that she went to the church, that she drove to Utah, that she talked to them. Cody didn't respond. Cody allegedly got a phone call while he was in the car from the church that Mary got the release, but he doesn't want to talk about what they said. So I found it interesting that Cody didn't want to talk about what they said, because they clearly don't. He clearly doesn't view what he did to be what the church believes it to be. And Mary talks about how it was grounds for abandonment. And Cody sits there and says he doesn't, especially like in later episodes, because I've watched a couple where he says he doesn't feel it's abandonment. It's abandonment, sir. I don't know what world you live in, but you basically divorced her legally and then checked out of your spiritual marriage and bailed on her. Like, I don't know where you think, like, it's not abandonment, in my opinion, but whatever, Cody. And I do also want to note that this was hard for Mary, and I am sympathetic to the fact that it was hard for her. But I'm glad she's finally, like, doing something about her situation, because I truly believe nothing changes if something in your life is not what you want it to be, you have to make the change, not somebody else. And I think that that's really important. And then Janelle says she got a phone call randomly one day from Cody talking about something else, and he's like, oh yeah, Mary got a release. Like, okay, like, why are you telling people? And then they ask Christine about it, and Christine's like, I'm no longer part of the religion, which she has stated multiple times that she does not practice this religion anymore. So I don't know why they keep hounding her about it, but be quiet. And then they go back to Janelle and Cody, where they talk about Janelle and Gabe, where they talk about some other things. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is what pisses me off the entire time I'm watching this. So Janelle says that Cody doesn't see Savannah, and that Savannah has just accepted the fact that her dad is a Disney dad, and that when he's there, he shows up and he's great, and when he's not there, he's just not there. As somebody who is watching her child basically have a Disney dad, this breaks my literal heart. I don't understand how, as a parent, you could want to miss a single second of your child's life. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I say this all the time with my ex. I don't get it. Like, I don't get how you don't want to be there. I don't get how you don't want to show up. I don't get how you don't want to be a part of these things. Like, you are missing out on so much, and I just don't understand it. At all. And then Janelle talks about how the boys take responsibility for Savannah, which is beautiful, but I also think is sad because it's not their job to help with their sister. It's just not. And poor Logan, I feel, never got to be an adult, per se. I feel like he was always helping with the kids, and it's just hard situation because, like, so here's the thing. There's a lot of criticism of Christina and Janelle online because they had so many kids with this man and they knew what they were getting. But the problem is that they were indoctrined into their beliefs. And Janelle, for all intents and purposes, appears to still believe in the faith. So, at least during these episodes. So, I'm not going to be too harsh on them because they have to learn, they have to, there's a lot of work that comes into deconstructing your religion. Okay, we'll go there. And then they talk about how Gabe doesn't blame his siblings, and he's referring to Robin's kids, which are Dane and Aurora, and oh my gosh, what is the Brianna, for falling into party lines. And I think that's important to note because there is this narrative that appears to be happening on the show in the next couple episodes that I've watched, where in previous episodes where the kids are saying my siblings are mean to me, we never felt like part of the family, and I'm sitting there like, what do you mean? You were invited to everything. Like, it's just mind-blowing to me, the narrative that the three that live with Robin, especially the older girls who are being put on camera, are being fed. I also forgot to note that when we were talking about the release, Notes to Self 44, which is the daughter of the prophet of the AUB, said in multiple lives that when Cody got the call from her dad, who was the leader of the AUB, that he flipped it immediately into don't give Christine the release. If that's the case, sir, he wasn't calling you about Christine. He was calling you about Mary. Why did you flip it to Christine? Why are you still so obsessed with Christine? Like, please explain it to me. Please explain it to me. He was calling you to tell you, hey, I gave Mary a release on the grounds of abandonment. And you scream into the phone instead, don't you dare give Christine a release. Christine doesn't even believe in the religion anymore. She doesn't need a release. You are obsessed with her. That is one thing that is becoming clear in the last 2 seasons of Sister Wives. This man is obsessed with Christine. Like, he needs, like, some serious, like, therapy. Like, get over it. Oh, and that's the other thing that Janelle mentions in this episode, that Gabe is seeing a counselor, and I think that's really, really good for Gabe. I'm glad he's seeing a counselor. And Gabe talks about how if she genuinely, like, how he's confused about his siblings and how, like, they feel that, like, if Robin genuinely feels like they were treated so bad when they were the ones favored, which is a good point. Like, Robin was favored. So why are we pretending that, like, she wasn't favored or anything like that at all? And then they end the episode with Cody has concerns about his relationship with Robin. And all of that, like how he has concerns about his relationship with Robin and that he doesn't want his relationship to break. And to me, what I got from that is that this is all about Robin for you, and it's been about all Robin for him, and it's a shame that he's more concerned about his relationship with Robin than his relationship with his siblings, in my opinion. So that is episode 5 of Sister Wives.